What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the 5ers Live Trading Room. It's Tuesday. It's the second live stream of the week, and we got a lot of interesting setups going on. Finally, we have some moves. Something is happening in the market. You guys remember yesterday? Very boring. We were just waiting for something to happen. Of course, we did have bank holidays in the US, and now I'm gonna let Victor say something. What's up, Victor? How's it going?
How are you doing, Jonathan? How is everyone at home? Yes, today is an exciting. It's going to be an exciting show for various reasons. Not only the market is offering us great opportunities. The two pairs that I watch, both of them are setting up very nicely. We'll see if any of them will give us good signals. Some of you may have already gotten in. But we also have, on a different level, we have a great surprise for you guys. I'm sure you guys will be
Well,
thrilled.
yeah,
I'm,
maybe we should say maybe. Maybe we have a surprise.
oh, maybe. Okay, maybe
'Cause
we have a surprise.
the
Okay,
surprise is having some technical difficulties, but maybe we're gonna have a surprise. And if we
well,
don't have a surprise today, we'll have a surprise tomorrow. And
that's what I wanted to say. The surprise is coming. Whether it's going
yeah,
to be today or tomorrow, that's another thing. But we have
yeah.
a great surprise that you guys will be thrilled once you know what it is. So lean back,
As
relax, and enjoy.
as soon as I said the technical difficulties, Henry asked, "Is it Alex?" Well, if it's someone or something that usually does have technical difficulties, that something might or might not be called Alex. But we know from the past that there has been some technical difficulties with him. So maybe we
Who knows?
you never know. You never know. Okay, what are we looking at today? So looking at the at the market, we do have some. Do we have some news coming up today? Yeah, we have CAD CPI. Yeah, Alex is fine. He's here in the comments. Says he's fine. Thanks. Okay, so today we have CAD CPI, and we have NCD CPI as well. That's a bit later, of course. Just 15-minute be right 15 minutes before midnight our time. But then
Yeah.
we have a CAD CPI we do have coming up in about 25 minutes, and that might give us some movement.
We also have the Empire State Manufacturing Index. It's an orange folder, but I mean it's dollar news, so it may
Yep.
have a little bit of a uh, of a of an effect. Who knows? So that's something to be pending of.
Yeah, definitely. And the Empire State Manufacturing Index have in the past given up some rather big movements. It depends on if what the results are, of course, but if the expected value is way off, or the actual value is way off than expected, then orange news can also move the markets quite a lot. But it's not very normal that happens.
Yeah,
Okay, you know what?
there
We have a
for everyone. Actually, before we continue on this subject of the news, it's not for today, but tomorrow at night European time, we will have President Lagarde, Christine Lagarde, speaking. And if you guys remember what happened last time she spoke, does anyone remember? Last time she spoke, that's the beginning. That was the beginning of EU and GU coming down.
right,
That's the
right.
source of that weekly order block that was formed.
I
Some
think
very
it broke this
powerful.
level, right?
That's the top. That's from the top. That was when Lagarde was
Oh, that
speaking.
was this move.
Yeah, yep. And it
Right.
started with Lagarde, and it never ended, and it still hasn't ended. And now we might have some kind of a reversal, which, but I
Mm.
mean, that's what it was. It 200 pips down, something like that, almost on
We look at
EU.
well, we can look at here. We get 100, 150, and then if down here would be 300. So just that move is 150, but this is on the 4 hours. So if we go to the daily, I mean, only just this candle is 180 pips. So yeah, it's a big move for sure.
Yeah, well, I don't mean to say that is going to happen today, but I mean, last time around, Lagarde had a major impact on her speech. Who knows? Maybe people are, have their eyes on her again to see what is she going to say, something that's going to affect the market again. And if so, even if it's half, even if it's a quarter of what the effect she had before, I mean, it's plenty of pips to be caught.
Yeah. So we have on GU, we had a question here, possible long on GU. What are your thoughts? Well, it's definitely a possible long here on GU. Now, what exactly my entry triggers would be, whatever, but possible long in that sense that we're at a good high time frame level right here, and let's just say that this daily candle would close like this, then we do have a fairly interesting bullish engulfing candle, I would say. Maybe not, but I like it. It's a decent candle, especially if it can close above that wick right there. Then we have a good close on that one. The way I would trade this is we do see now a change of structure or a change of behavior. If we measure this trend with these trend lines, we do see that there's a fairly obvious structure here where you can say that price is coming into the channel here and we're creating this type of structure. And let's see, even though these are equal lows as well, we never, so you see here's the equal lows, but we never get above like this level here. So we're still in a downtrend. And then we have a new low and we're printing actually a higher low, but I would actually view this as equal lows. And we are right now about to perhaps get above this level, and that would be the change of structure. So I'm not really looking at the trend lines. It's not, a break of the trend lines that I care about, but it's the trend lines are here to mark out the structure of this downtrend and the behavior of this downtrend. And what we're seeing now is, of course, after printing that high, we have another higher high here. So if you view this as equal lows, you have to view this as a higher low. You can actually say that you get a low, higher low, and a higher low up into resistance, which is obviously bullish. Now, well, it's not confirmed bullish, but it's definitely more bullish than bearish. We could say neutral. But if we look at the context of this, if we go back to the daily, we do have the fact that we're in this major support. Now, I want to show you something else, and you're gonna like this, Victor. What if we do this? Like that. And then what I like to do as well is if we put on that one, that's the middle, that's the range, that's the order block EQ, right?
It is.
And you see the candle closes on the daily is just absolutely perfect. Look at that. Absolutely perfect. So not only do we have that high time frame level, we also have a pretty good order block being filled as well. And we're coming out of that order block, out of that support, and we're breaking structure. We have a 4-hour break of structure within. And I actually like having this level on. I think this level looks better than the daily level. So what we do have here is, yeah, I like it. I'm starting to draw order blocks. Well, the reason why I sometimes like to add an order block, I think it's just confirmation bias. Really, I don't really think. I think I see an order block and then I'm like, okay, this is perfect. But if I would see an order block that was not perfect, then I wouldn't be adding it. Okay, are we ready to?
Yeah, I can do the
demand
the
of
analysis
many.
on. Oh, go ahead.
the man of many technical issues. Are we ready? Well, I guess he'll add himself whenever he feel like he's ready to. All right, let's do it.
Ooh,
all right, look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, man? How's it going?
Bad,
Welcome.
Thank you, bro. Wow, that was. I had to steal somebody's headphones because I don't know what's going on. Since I've been gone, obviously, I had my whole setup, and then I went on holiday and stuff, and everybody's stolen all my stuff. So you got Soul has taken my microphone. He took my microphone and took everything. So now I had to go and take Emmy from Trade the Pool, head of Trader Success. I stole her headphones. So Emmy, if you're watching, your headphones are here. What's going on though? Gosh, feels like ages since I've been on here as well.
It's been a while.
Wow.
Nice.
What's been going on? Where's all the likes? Let's get the likes up, baby. Let's go. I haven't been on here for so long as well. It feels
people in the audience are going nuts. The comments are coming in.
Finally, he's back.
Everyone is very excited for your coming back. Welcome.
Finally,
they say to
Nisha
you,
says, "Who is this guy? Yeah, who's that? You look
you
look 10 years younger. I mean, you look like you haven't been trading."
That's yeah. That's right. You know, taking a break from trading. That's what it does to you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
Super refreshed and stuff. I did do a little bit of trading though. I would say I took one trade in FX the whole 3 months gone, and then mostly on crypto. A little bit of Pepe, as you know.
Yeah, I did see that you sent me a couple of panic messages.
Yeah, I was a bit upset that I couldn't get an FTM after I stalled into your buys.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what's going on? Who's buying EU at the moment? Because I think we're all in that trade, aren't we? Is anybody long EU?
Well, we I think what I'm looking for on EU is this one right here. Did you get filled on that ridiculous tight stop loss? I'm not talking with you, though. I'm talking with Victor.
Victor's in it as well.
No, I haven't gotten the fill yet, but no, the price hasn't come to the area that I'm looking for yet. But we did see that you got filled, right, Alex?
I got filled, and I also added as well. So I'm probably being a little bit too added in a great place after I saw confirmation. Though I didn't just add for no reason.
I guess you're trading. Are you trading based on like this one or
exactly? You know the way I trade anyway. There's no point in me. I can go through it, but you've pretty much. Also, there was a little bit of divergence and stuff, but I'll show you guys in a minute after you run through everything.
Yeah. So the trade I have open right now. This is from yesterday, right? You guys remember we had a candle. This candle was closing during the live stream, and I said if this candle is going to close here, then I'll enter orders for this one right here. And just to walk you through the whole idea here with NCD CHF is we obviously see a strong support right here, and prices coming back into that support level. We have a downtrend on the 4-hour, and then we have basically this structure like this and a breakout. And I'm looking for place my buy orders here for a move up. And what happened was we obviously got filled here, and then we almost hit that TP on the last candle, but this is where we're trading right now. So looking at the 1 hour, we still have like a local downtrend right here, but I got my TP just above here, so I'm waiting for that one. I'm waiting for that one to get hit. I will move my stops. I will move my stops here.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, secure that position. Does Alex know about your ongoing negative? Yeah, so he left right when I started testing this. That's when he left, and right in the beginning, me testing this, I had like I believe it was like 9 or 10 trade winning streak. Like that was when this began, and I kind of wish that didn't happen because it gives a pretty very good. Like the expectations for this way of trading when you start with a 10 trade winning streak is not the
I've
best.
never heard
Not the
anybody be
best.
upset with a 10 trade win streak. What are you talking about?
What
What
yeah,
are you? What is it? Am I don't know if I'm hearing. Maybe I've I've been out for too long, but 10 trade wins in a row, bro. You should be pretty happy about that.
no, I am.
Or has it got you like
Don't get me wrong, I am.
overconfidence?
Yeah, it does give good confidence, but I wish that could happen over and over again. That would be nice. That would be nice. But I think it definitely gave me very high expectations. But still, I got the win rate around 70%, so it works quite well, very well actually, and it's very profitable. I'm continuing testing the approach, but so far so good. Everything looks
Question
really.
Because we were talking about, because you've got such a good win rate, to up the risk. Now, you didn't care what I said. In all fairness, you cared what Victor said.
Yeah.
But the question is, did you actually up the risk?
Yeah, I did, and
Nice.
I did,
Yeah.
which the timing of it was quite bad. So what I did was I increased risk to 1.5, 1.5%, and that was right before a drawdown. So obviously, that what I should have done instead was obviously increase risk incrementally with each new trade, so that. But I did, I went, increased risk and added everything, and then I had a loser, and then another loser. I think I had a 3R drawdown, which might not sound like a lot, but in percentage terms, when you're risking 1.5, it becomes bigger than necessary. But yeah, I did increase
It doesn't
risk.
sound like a lot. 3R is in my book, that's nothing. But of course, it's all relative because it depends on the equity curve. What is your usual fluctuations? I have five in a day, and that's a normal day. So to me, -3 isn't anything. That's just me warming up. But for you, of course, that may not be the case with that high win rate. -3 is something might not happen that often.
Oh, definitely. So yeah, we got NCD CHF here, and the whole idea is based on a breakup structure. So you got coming down into support, then they've got the breakup structure. It kind of looks like a break and retest here, and the same thing. I'm actually looking at if we're gonna look at Euro USD. I want to show GBP USD first. So we have GBP USD here, and I'm looking for a similar breakup structure here. Basically, we got a downtrend. We got a range here. Now I'm looking for a breakout here. So if we have a breakout candle here on the 4 hour, this candle is going to close in 38 minutes. I don't think that's going to happen. But if it closes up here, then my trade is going to look like probably like this, with stops down here, and then I'll TP at this area above. I think price is probably going to hit. So something like that. So that's on GU. Now,
what level is that? Your TP? That's the 3110, more or less.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's a good level. I think on EU as well. I think we've got some really good levels, and you can see we've got clear divergences all the way from those. You can see price on the way down to that last leg is slowing down. Just for it to get to the same amount of range as those big candles, it's taking double or even triple the amount of candles to actually get the same amount of movements from the big spikes down. So it just shows that price is, sellers are slowing down, and they're slowing down in a good area as well. Let me pop over to my chart, and I'll just show what I'm saying, because I can't really see. When I'm talking about the divergence, I'm talking about, all of this area here, and now this move right here. We've got let's have a look. Was it a divergence? We've got, I guess you can call that a divergence when I'm looking at it. When I was first looking at this trade, I was looking for it to come into that 50 fib, and that's the entry. But I was looking at this originally, and it did have a really nice divergence. Maybe it was the 1 hour that I was looking at. Yeah, so you've got the divergence here. So on the low of this candle has been taken out as well by today's low, and that caused a divergence as well. Which means as well, we've got that push up, which has taken out the tops of those candles, which we can see here. I don't know if you guys can see this.
I can see.
So you've got the low of Monday taken out by today. Then we've had the push up, taken out the top of this this small range, and now we've got the break, retest, continuation trade. This level is the weekly, and all of us have tested. I think you've also tested this, haven't you, Jonathan? The amount of times throughout the week that price actually returns back to the weekly open. You've tested it. Yeah, so I've tested it. It came around about three times, was 3 or 4 times. Price actually came back to retest the weekly open. So out of the week, it came back 3 times as on the higher percentage, and it hasn't actually touched this. So this is the Monday high. There's not been a retest of the weekly level since then, and we've already had the low of the Monday taken out. So I'm thinking take out the Monday high and retest the weekly before we have any continuation low, if that's what it wants to do. That's the plan that I was looking at. I don't know what you guys think to that, because I know, Victor, you've got a different way of trading.
Yeah, you mentioned.
But look at that as well on the 200 as well. You've got the 200 EMA straight on that area, and you've got all of this demand right here as well. So it seems like just a really simple trade setup there.
Yeah,
there it goes. That's the technical difficulties coming along.
The technical difficulty came in with a great timing, because I think Alex just finished his sentence there. Let's see. This is what I see in terms of GU. I'm very interested. That's what we said at the beginning of the session, that it offers a lot of opportunities, and this is what I'm looking at. We have a fresh weekly order block, right? So starting from the weekly, we have that little wick. It has very little body, but if you go through different price feeds, you will see that it does have, in the majority of the price feed, it does have a body. So it is a valid candle to mark your order blocks from. And we have a fresh order block. Price is coming back. So basically we have this movement where price was initially going down, which is the idea behind the order block, right? Initially went down, but it was overtaken by the buyers, right? And it's coming back to that area where the buyers came in. And the idea is from that area, it has a good chance of reacting as it usually does from an order block. So that's the weekly. We have the daily as well. Why the daily? Because we have a quasi, right? We don't have it's not a fresh order block on the daily, but we do have a quasi. We talked about this, how it broke the neckline, right? And it is coming back to one of the two. The other one was already invalidated before the order block, but the last one, that's where we are right now. So it's very, very relevant that it's slowing down, as Alex mentioned, at this place, because that makes sense in this structure, right? In this pattern. And if you go to another time frame, even lower, you take to the 4 hour, what you find is that the same area has also let me mark this for you guys. So you have, if you mark, it's going to be the same quasi on the daily, but also on the H4, it makes sense, because if you measure them, there aren't that many H4 order blocks. So if there aren't that many, I am able, that's personal, of course, but I'm able to identify the order blocks as entry order blocks. And that's exactly what this one is. That's why I got it marked like that. And that's the area we have where, see this? price is not able to close below it, right? That's a sign to me that, you know, price is reacting to that order block. It's unable to close below it. So the area makes sense on the weekly time frame, on the daily, and on the H4. And those are the setups you want to be catching, because you're getting multiple time frames aligned, and that's when market can, you know, you can get a tight entry and then, you know, swing for the fences. Basically, I wouldn't recommend literally going all in or things like that, but I mean, you can extend your TP, or you can at least hold a partial for a swing trade. If you're only trading a day trade, you can hold a portion of it for a long term if you have higher time frame confirmation as well. So when I see this, and the fact that, let's see, we formed another order block right here. And everything that I mentioned is based on the structure we have to the left, right? But what is more important, or well, not more important, but what is important for your entry is what is price in here telling us, right? Recent price action today, yesterday, or the last couple of sessions, and this is the structure that I see, right? If I zoom in on the H4 without doing those markings, this is what I see. So I have an established downtrend. Let's see if we can mark this.
I like that area. The area that you're showing right now looks
Yes.
like the typical area where price will be attracted to, because
You
it's
mean-
taking out all of those highs right now. The next place where it's going to go, it's already taken out everything out on the bottom half of the chart. So where is the next ultimate station in for it to go? You know, they're really nice.
Yeah. What I see is I can consider this as the left shoulder, and this would be then the head of the quasi. And it already took out the neckline if we consider that structure today. So either it's going to continue, I'm not going to get an entry if that happens, or it's going to come back to that H4 order block and use something, maybe this area, maybe some other area in the future that hasn't been formed yet, but something in this area, and then my quasi would be perfect. I would go to the lower time frame, to the H2, H1. Once I see what I want to see, I can get to the minutes, and then we can get it's a low win rate trade. But if it is what it seems to be, something that can have all the way to the weekly a possible signal, you bet that this can go to be a huge winner, because we can target, based on the daily, we can target the next daily structure, which is above us. But if it is a weekly indeed, then you can target the next weekly structure, which isn't even visible here. But we're talking about this structure potentially, right? We're not that far yet. We don't have indication that's going to do that, but that's all in the cards. If this is the beginning of something for a bullish move, which makes sense if you look at the market structure to the left from us, right? A continuation of these bullish impulses coming to the market, but we'll have to see. It's too early to say it's a weekly structure yet. But in any case, it's a 4-hourly. So I'm very keen on looking for an entry if that presents, and it may or may not present. That's fine by me. I will let it run and leave that for the momentum traders like Alex to catch those momentum moves.
I want to show something on.
We just had news. No, is there any news come out? Because I did see a little bit of a spike in.
Yeah, we did have the CAD
move. Yeah,
manufacturing index.
I want to show something on. I want to show something on EU that I think, because we're looking at this from a bullish perspective, right? So what I try to do is I always, if I'm going to take a long, I want to try to see if there's any clear bearish structures, and I think we do have something that I'm not really liking in terms of going long here on EU. So what I'm seeing first is this downtrend on the 4-hour, and there's nothing that tells me that this downtrend has broken. And if we go back here, if I add a level, if we only look at this price structure, last time price came into this area, this would be a structure that I would have on my chart, something like that. So you can see you have this level right here, very clear resistance, and then you have very clear support. Now, if we drag this all the way to the right, it looks like this. So if we're going to be looking at this level as support, we have to take into consideration the fact that previously this was acting like nice support, and we had our initial first reaction to that level right here. And I believe that that was the time when I wanted to buy EU. And now we've formed not only do we have a downtrend here on the 4-hour, but we also failed to have continuation after the initial move, and now we're actually below the level where I think previously was this, the equilibrium of this support area, if you will. You can drag it all the way to the left, and you see that we're below this level. Yeah, it's a big level, and we're below it, which means for me to go long in EU, I need to see clear change in behavior and clear structure change, which means reclaiming this level. So we have, if you go to the 1 hour, we probably have a local downtrend. Yeah, so now we have a change in structure here on the 1 hour, and this is exactly what I wanted to see. So we have this, and now we're seeing a potential change of structure, and that to me would also be a potential change of structure on the 4 hour. So my setup is based on this. But I need confirmation first.
Where would your break of structure be on the H4?
Well, on the H4, I'm looking at 2 levels. First, this one, the first blue one. That would be the first sign, or maybe even the first confirmation of a potential break of structure. Because if we go above here, we don't really have a change of structure. Like if we're gonna have a proper change of structure in the 4 hour, we need to get above these highs to have a real break of structure. But I would argue as well, because this is such a clean and clear resistance, we also have historic confidence all the way back here. If we form something like this, we could view this as a change of structure. So
can I just interject though? Even if we get up there, in my opinion, we're not getting a break of structure until we actually pass and break the 9360 level, because it's still within, it's still within that last leg. So even though it's like it's making inner higher highs, higher lows, it's still on a bigger time in a bigger level. Still has potential to go down. It's one of those iffy ones where then again, you can see long and you can see short and you can see sideways all you want. It just depends how much you're looking at the chart.
What level is yours, Alex? What's your level for your structural break? You mentioned, what was it?
So if we were looking at to go like swing long, then again, if you have a look now on the daily though, we're still, we've had that last push up, we had a failed break to continuation, and now we've got like this. Let me pull up. It's quite let me pull this up.
I mean, it doesn't look strong. That's what I'm saying.
You've had all of this downside. In all fairness, you've got this, you've got this area here as well, and you've also got where that weekly open is, and where the Monday high is exactly where you've got the 50 fib as well from that last leg. So if it needs to break that with a lot of volume and hold above that for me to say, okay, I'm going to, get into a trade for a longer period of time, further up onto the chart. At the moment, this is like, I would say, like an intraday trade, where at the end of the day, I'm probably just going to get out of it, and it could just turn around. It could just turn around and just come up here, take out these highs, and then just like continue downwards. If you get a sense of what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So
what I would say as well is, if I mean, sometimes you can look at the EU and GU sometimes moves quite correlated to each other when you have big moves like this. So if you look at this structure that we have on EU and then you look at GU, we're basically getting on EU what we want to see on EU. So we see pound coming down, hitting that daily level. In this case, the order block, and it's the same thing here. This is a massive level. This is a very important level, right? And you look at the 4 hour, the breakout structure on the 4 hour has already happened on GU, so we can actually compare the two, and I'll show you what I mean here. This is EU on the right, and then we have GU to the left, and EU is here, right? Where we're getting this downtrend, and GU is printing this. So if I would be looking for long on EU here, I would much rather just take. I would just much rather take that trade on GU. And you see now that the 4 hour candle is about to close here, 20 minutes. If it closes a bit higher, this will be the trade. We can look at the 1 hour as well. We have a clear change of structure in the 1 hour. The 1 hour candle will close as a very good reaction to the break and retest of this level. So I would look at it long on GU instead of EU. The thing is, though, if you're already long on EU, then the strength of this move will most likely translate to a bullish move on EU as well. So sometimes it's very important to look at currencies that are moving together, because you can see clues. Because sometimes, in this case, I believe GU is front running EU, so EU will be lagging behind. Which, when you can find those correlations and that relationship, there's an edge in that, of course, as well.
Yeah, well, the other thing we can mention is that this morning there was pound news, and we could have seen that from that news, the pound was reacting when EU wasn't doing much, and maybe that's the reason it had like a head start on this move, right? Both of them might be somewhat, reversing or taking an attempt to reverse the current bearish direction. But GU, because of that news, had a catalyst and is starting the move before EU. But there's something I want to show. That's why I asked you, Alex, where your structural level was, because to me, the structural level means a lot. Although it's kind of it's kind of personal. It's my level might not be the same place other people levels will be.
Yeah.
But it's I have a specific way to identify and decide where the level is. And even if it's not perfect, that's the level I'm going to be using, whether I'm to accept or to start assessing if there is a trade or not. And the level on EU is this, at least for me. From what I see is this. When we had actually, there's something I want to talk about EU, but I'll probably leave that for something later on. What I have is, when I look back, right, if I'm going to look on the H4 and I ask myself, if this is the head, right, where is the left shoulder? Could it be this left shoulder, yes or no? And one of the things that I use is, and I talked about this, and I'll be talking about this today too. I was thinking about it this morning to discuss this on the Discord channel. But one of the things that I want to see is, I want buying coming in, and because this is a bullish reversal pattern, I want buyers coming in at the left shoulder, and they need to show me that they are in control, that they took control, even though they fail, because the head then comes the head. So if it forms a head, it means that the point where they took control that attempt didn't succeed. But they need to show me, at least temporarily, for a couple of bars, that they took control. And when I see this, and if this is going to be the left shoulder, and I ask myself, did they take control as they come up all the way here? And my question is, I'm not convinced they did. right? So because if we see here, this is the order block. That order block was never invalidated.
What
So
level
to
is that?
me,
Sorry, mate.
I mean, well, the break of structure isn't here. Then that's my point.
Ah,
The level is 109.55.2, which is the high. It never closed above that. To me, that would have been the sign. Of course, that's a little rule, and not everyone has the same rule. But to me, a close on the H4 above that level would have been clear sign that that the buyers, they took control, and this would be a valid left shoulder for my quasi pattern. So if this isn't the left shoulder, that means then that this should be the valid left shoulder. And indeed, I can see at different points where the buyers did come and take control. So to me, the structural the structure to be broken is this level, which is very far away from where we are right now. EU has a lot of work, a lot of convincing to do if it wants to reverse, at least from this, from the information we have right now. Of course, it can still form a quasi later on with a different, more recent structure. But it's, to me, I'm not convinced this is the left shoulder. And if this isn't the left shoulder, then it must be much higher, making this the neckline. And so I'm not that. Although I would be trading a buy signal here as a day trade, as a swing trade, I'm not too convinced EU is ready to switch sides yet. And the other thing that I would like to mention, even though it's not particularly ready yet to discuss it as an opportunity, what I have is this: on the weekly, we have a weekly order block, which is part of a quasi, right? This is the neckline on the weekly. That's the head, the left shoulder. And we're coming back, right? This isn't the right shoulder. Why not? Because at this point, it hadn't broken the neckline yet. It was after the break that it's now coming down. So the potential right shoulder would be made after, right in the future, or right now. And one of the things that I see is that we haven't interacted with that order block completely yet, right? I know it's a little bit, it's only a few pipettes, but I want to see it tapped into that order block. And what we typically see is, if price hasn't really touched it, it can have a little pop, and this is the weekly time frame, so that little pop can be a couple of days, but eventually it will tap deeper in that order block before it actually reverses and changes direction. So that's another thing that is in confluence with the fact that I don't see on the H4 a break of structure yet, and that makes sense, right? Because if the neckline is all the way up here, that means that it is likely, or there is a chance it's going to go deeper before it changes direction, which it's in alignment with each other, the weekly and the H4 in this case. So my neckline in that sense is at 08 this high, which is 0897.3. When and the H4 closes above that's for me personally the sign that we have broken structure.
Can we have a
At
look
least
on Dixie and see what the Dixie is doing? Because from last time, if we go on to a daily or something, let's start off with a daily.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like a pretty strong reaction to the lows, to be honest. And
Yeah.
it's not surprising why we'll see a little bit of profit taking or a little bit of weakness coming off it now, because it's just had a massive push. Could it just be a little
definitely
retest before continuation, because it is stuck in a macro range? And obviously all the geopolitical stuff going on in the world, as we all know, can quickly change like that, which turns into dollar strength, risk off, and so on and so on and so on and so on. So it's what are we playing? Are we playing just that, maybe the dollar is just taking a little bit more of a breather before it continues, or are we playing that the euro and the pound have got more strength? It's just it's how you want to play that game as well.
Yeah, on the weekly time frame, I don't see anything. At least we don't see anything except this weekly order block, which is quite far from current prices. So that makes sense. And on the daily, we do have to the left side, we do have like a swing high. It's not a great order block to trade from, but I mean, if prices starts forming reversal pattern from here, it does does feel make sense that this order block is the structure that is responding to it. But we are coming from a, if you look at this, we're coming from this candle hasn't closed yet. We're on the 15th of October, so I shouldn't be putting a order block there. But we did potentially, we will be closing as and forming a bullish order block. And the weekly, we did already leaving a weekly order block behind. To me, if it's leaving a weekly order block, it has a quite good chance to be needing a weekly in the opposite direction as well to change direction, and that's way above us. If we translate this into EU, that means that EU has a lot more downside to go.
Well, yeah, but I mean, looking at the Dixie, we should have. I mean, we know how support and resistance works. I mean, we should have some sort of pullback, and that pullback. Yeah. But
that's how we do it.
Should.
Yeah.
I guess there's money to be made there as well. Completely lost myself there. What was I talking about? Yeah, okay. So we should have some type of rejection for dollar here. We do see, however, dollar is strong. Today also with the CAD news, we do see USD CAD running. But looking at the Dixie, we should have some sort of pullback. I mean, looking at the weekly, I think it's quite clear that we're at high time frame resistance, and that pullback could break structure on EU. So yeah, I do think that EU is probably going to move to the upside in the next like 2 or 3 days. But if we look towards look at months in the future, then there's a high chance that the US dollar might regain some strength here.
What is going on with USD yen though? Because I know a lot of people have been shorting the hell out of USD yen. Yeah, look at that move down. It's absolutely crazy. So all that time I was away, you had that massive, ridiculously move down. Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, this would be the area.
Did anybody trade that? The move down?
No, me neither. I mean, the way I usually want to, the way I trade is I trade reactions at levels, and this USD JPY move is just, it feels like one big move, and either you get in at the beginning or at the bottom of that move. And I don't know, it was, I looked at it every day, but it was in such a weird area as well, because you had a break of structure, like a break of market structure in the higher time frames, like the first major break of structure since I don't know, like since 2022, so like it was 2 years ago you had such a massive break of structure on USD JPY. So it was in an area where
I assume they upped their interest rates then.
I can't remember what happened, but the Bank of Japan obviously came out and
they intervened, right? They did intervene last month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that was something. I'm glad I'm not into fundamentals, because stuff is complicated.
I wanted to ask you. There was a guy that you recommended me about his fundamental. I forgot what his name was. You're gonna have to send me it, because it would be nice to learn a little bit more about fundamentals and stuff, because everybody knows the basics, but you can always brush up on.
I think when it comes to fundamentals, we have there's who's the guy? XO has some really good content
XO's a
on.
fan. XO is for
Yeah.
some reason he's the most, for me, the most entertaining, boring trader in the world. You know, he's
Yeah.
just boring. Like he just everything is so simple, but he's so entertaining. I don't know why. Maybe it's I don't know.
And the guy that I'm talking about is apparently his mentor. So yeah, this I should say his name, but probably let's probably get him on here instead.
Yeah,
Say his full name.
don't want to. Yeah. Don't give him the clout before we get on the stream.
Yeah, exactly.
Stand-up trading.
Stand-up trading. Yep. I'm gonna be standing up now. Thank you.
Stand-up trading is the way forward. We sit down. Do you know my eyesight since I've been working at the 5ers is just absolutely destroyed. I used to be able to see quite far, and now I can't see far, and I can't see close either. It's just destroyed my eyes.
Maybe you have to take a step back. Maybe not be too close to the screens, right?
I guess, but you know, it's,
you have glasses.
You know, apparently staring at the screen closer actually helps with profitability. So
yeah, I know, but you know, and then you know, you make enough money, you just replace your eyes for like bionic screens or something.
Yeah, so
I'm sure Elon is going to come up with something soon anyway. So we don't even need our bodies. It's just, you know, we're just going to be able to like tap into the markets for real. It's jumping around on the chart, like look at this high, and then just jumping down to the next low.
I know we're taking it off topic to something a little bit more lighthearted, but if Elon Musk, for instance, came out with a commercial chip that you could just go to the store and you could get, you would take it, wouldn't you? I would.
115%.
I'm on that. Yeah, I'm 100%.
I'll
let
Elon
Musk
sell my son to Elon Musk if he could take us to Mars. Okay, not my son, like maybe my secondborn, not my firstborn.
Do you know when he gets old enough, I'm going to show him this video.
Yeah, but I'm going to be in March. I'm out of here.
I wonder what Tesla and Tesla did after that whole launch, the whole rocket the Starship, wasn't it called the Starship? That I wonder if Tesla actually. I'm going to have a look if Tesla actually went up after that.
That's interesting
because that was on the weekend, wasn't it? So I wonder how.
Well, not really. Gap down.
Not really. Oh wow! Whoa!
Oh,
God.
One of the biggest achievements, and Tesla is dumped.
You know, my friend was really waiting because the Tesla had some kind of event with robotic cars or something, robotic taxis coming out. He was adamant that this was going to move Tesla to the upside, and he went leverage long. This was like 5 days ago.
Wow.
I'm just going to check on him. You know, just like, hi mate, hope you're all well. How's Tesla?
Yeah, you do that. Okay, I'm gonna quickly switch over to my screen here. We have GU is getting close to that 4 hour in 3 minutes, and for me it's obviously not the breakout candle that you want to see. So for me, this is probably not going to be a trade. Looking at the 1 hour now, I really don't look at the 1 hour, but on the 1 hour, I mean, it does look like a good reclaim, but I want to see it on the 4 hour, because this correlation that I talked about with GU and EU, it goes both ways, right? So EU is still rejecting that level. There's no sign of bullish price action for me. So you gotta think, is it GU that is front running EU, or is it the other way around? Is EU bringing GU with it down? And unless GU can confirm a bullish structure here, then that's probably what's going to happen. Now the only thing that both GU and EU have going is the fact that we're at high time frame high time frame support, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you trade on gold? Well, let me show you gold. So you guys remember a while back, I talked about this, where basically I looked at gold coming down to this level, and a lot of times I do talk about gold as sort of like almost like Bitcoin when it breaks out. So you see that we broke above that level. We never really came down and tested that level. And we have a major level breaking right here with a breakout. And I said, we have an untested level right here. And it does look very likely that if we do test this level, we're going to have a good long. But it never really did test that level. It came down and it almost hit that level. And this is something that I see quite often from gold, is it just comes down, has a wick, and then it continues. And it's not really, I can't really trade like that. I mean, I would be able to trade it if it had a move like this, but there's just a resistance level right here, which means I would be buying into resistance, and then I would wait for a move to reclaim this level, and then it kind of feels like I'm buying right into this level again. So the structure isn't really, but it's not that I'm not trading gold. It's just that it seems to never give me the setup that I want, you know?
Yeah, I feel.
Yeah, I understand.
It's just when something is so high up already, it's like you want to buy something when it's low, you know? You don't really want to buy something when it's all the way up the top there, and especially with everything going on, it's again, depends what time frame you're looking at and depends what you're doing. But there's so many other things at the moment to trade that will give you much better moves, to be honest. Like Tesla, whoever's gone long. Dean, you know what, mate? We all make mistakes, but I hope you got out fine, okay?
So wait a minute. So he actually went long prior to, let's see.
Hold on a second then. What am I looking at? Have you got a delayed? Wait.
Why is it only on October?
That's
oh,
weird.
Am I using replay? Oh yeah, I had a replay on.
I was going to say, I was like, your chart is completely different to me. That is gross.
Yeah.
If you're long, I can just.
Yeah.
Oh, my friend text me back. Oh no, it's not. It's somebody else. Got it.
No, I think. Yeah, Tesla does not look very, very good.
Yeah, but you know, as the disclaimer goes on the bottom, this is not financial advice, but EU's going up by the look of it.
Yeah. Okay.
My humble opinion.
Well, I don't know.
Up on
it's
anyway.
It's difficult to say. It's
maybe I can take a look at it on the lower time frame to say show what I would be interesting in. Of course,
guys, I need a quick break. So if you guys want to take a break as well, then we'll do a 10-minute break. But if you guys want to take a break later, then by all means, let's do that.
How about you go off then? We'll take it in turns, and then we keep the stream going, and then me and Victor will we'll talk a little bit. And when you come back after you've had your porridge or whatever you do.
Yeah, that sounds like exactly what I had planned. All right, see you soon.
Yes, as I was saying, the maybe I can take a look at EU, since the H4 candle just closed now, and this is what I see. Of course, we had a little flirt with the weekly order block, which is also with an entry order block on the much bigger structure to the left on the weekly and the monthly. But to me it's not enough to consider it a weekly signal, because I want it to get into that order block, not something of almost there, but having that distance still. I don't want to have any doubts whether or not it interacted or not, and this is not conclusive to me, right? We still see, what I still can expect, or what we can still expect, is because it came so close, the fact that it probably, in my mind, these are levels of people who are traders who are front running a reaction from this order block, and that's what made it go up. And if that is the case, then I can understand that EU will have some kind of a pop. Whether it's going to break the next structure on the daily time frame is still yet to be seen. But I can understand that from here, it can have some kind of influx of buyers at this, from this level. And on the daily, there isn't anything yet, right? It was shy of breaking this order block from the left, but that order block wasn't fresh, wasn't part of a quantity, so it doesn't really tell me much. We already knew that this wasn't a big structure to be of demand. But if we go to the lower time frames, we do see this big candle, this big outside bar that was formed after it flirted with that weekly order block. And to me, that's relevant. How does price behave after it, gets close or touches some structure? And this is the weekly reaction, the weekly order block reaction. And what does it do? It, formed an order block, an outside bar, after that move. That's already very indicative, very suggestive of something changed in the market. So that's only on the H4, and we have this order block. Actually, the order block is all the way here. This is the order block, right, where that's the area of interest, and I need alignment. So I need an H2 and H1 telling me what area can price come to, right? The H4 is typically too wide for me to trade. So what I have is on the H2, I have this bottom order block, which we haven't gotten to yet. And that's why I have these areas, these yellow lines, which depending on which structure I use, but they represent the H4 and H2 being in alignment. And if price gets there, that's the sweet spot that I'm waiting for to buy. But it looks like it's, this was the moment it had to, right? This wick was the moment it had to get deeper into that order block, and it didn't do that. If you go to the 1 minute, we can see that although it didn't reach the original area, which was this, it did leave an order block behind, and that order block is within, on the H1, and that order block is within the H4. So that gives us another area where we have alignment, in this case, the H1 and the H4. So this is an area that I would be looking to get long if it gets in here. And if it can go to the lower time frame and find a quantity there on the minutes, then that would be enough for me to ride this move, which I believe is from the weekly order block, this reaction. And where do I see it going? Well, I don't know. I just take it to the next station in the opposite direction, and that's on the H4. That would be this area. On the 2 hours, it would be something a little bit higher, but basically the same area. And you also have the dailies. So you don't want to stretch it too much. Let's not get too hopeful, because the daily is still very bearish. We have, the market has to switch on all the time frame before we start aiming something much higher. It can go there, but let's not jump the gun and wait for price to actually tell us where it wants to go, instead of us directing or thinking we know where it's going to go. So I think there's so many
opportunities as well to get into some really just cracking positions on, if you're like a 1 minute trader, if you're 15 minute, anything on EU, it's just super clean. Regarding US 30, I reckon that move is just going to get bought up, to be honest. I don't think it's going to, I think it's just taking a breathe before it just goes back up. In my opinion, I don't really trade it, but it just looks. EU, I'll just show you what I mean by there is just so many opportunities on EU throughout the whole day. It depends whatever you're actually looking at. I used to trade a lot on the 1 minute. Victor, we've been trading on the live room for what, a year now, correct?
Almost, yep.
Almost about a year, and pretty much I've always
Yeah.
been on the 1 minute. This would have been an absolute bread and butter setup. This kind of, especially, what time is this? So this is 10 a.m. The market I would have come into the office around this time, and just to see that type of candle, that would have been, you know, that W kind of pattern, or the double bottom that a lot of us look for. And just taking from there, you've got, again, the fib. I'm not going to rest until I've converted everybody in the 5ers to using fibs. A fantastic, the most beautiful reaction in the world, just to take up these highs. It was just, and that could have been just your trade for the day. That would have been 10 pips in and out within about an hour.
Where would your entry be?
Now, the entry would have been looking at that, the entry would have been on that 50 fib, which would be 8895, and the fib here is just got a minus 50. So I would get in on the 50 if I was doing on the 1 minute chart, get in on the 50 fib and get out on the minus 50 fib, because that gives me a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So that's how I can just quickly just get in, do the risk 10 lots. So that would be around about 10 pips. Yeah, 5 pips, that'd be 500. So if I wanted to put a full 1% risk, like a risk 1,000, I could have doubled up to 20 lots. But now, because I haven't got enough time, I'm trying to convert to doing more higher time frame swing trading. And even traders on the 1 hour could have got into, again, a really, really nice trade. The trade that normally I would get in on just market orders, but now I'm getting in with limit orders, and it's the first. I don't do that normally. Like I sent in the group, in the WhatsApp group, the limit order was set in right in that 50 area after I saw price take out these highs here. Because when I saw price take out these highs, that for me is the first sign that we have potential to be moving up. So that just retest down into the 50. Also, along with all of the EMAs and the fib, was just an absolutely beautiful setup. And the next really swing area where the majority of people will be putting stops or orders or whatever would be that 9365 level. But it's just so interesting how you could be 1 minute trader and find just so many positions, or you could be on the 5 minute, be on the 4 hour or the 1 hour, and again, it's just super clean.
Now that you have transitioned a little bit into higher time frame, Alex, which one do you feel or do you measure suits your personality better, the 1 minute or
I'll tell you which one I want to do, which would be 1 minute in and out and trading just all the time. But I know me as a person, when I see movements on the 1 minute, you can see a lot of signals, and I end up over trading on the 1 minute, and I have done a lot of times. But you have to be in front of the computer, and I'm always looking at the chart on the 1 minute to see what's reacting, and I'm always looking at, and you don't have time. Whereas the 4 hours, and the 4 hour weekly, daily, and 4 hour, or even a 1 hour for getting a perfect entry, for me now is just, I can get enough information from that to make a decision, and that's it. So that's the transition. On FX, I'm still doing a little bit of hybrid. I'll occasionally go down to the 15 minute just to see a little bit of what price is actually doing, but I'm doing it very slowly. Crypto is now straight swing position trading that I've got, and then just swing trading off of 4 hour entries. I'm not day trading crypto anymore. It's just, don't do it to yourselves, honestly. Unless you've got a really good edge on day trading crypto, then Don't do it to yourself, because if you're trying to day trade crypto like you day trade Forex, you're gonna kill your account. So yeah, but that's
I don't trade crypto. I only have like very long-term positions. That's position trading, not actual trading in and out. So from what you just said, it seems like you prefer to be on the lower time frames, but you have no choice, and this is better for your current situation, having limited time and just not going lower than 1 hour time frame.
I think a big problem as well is what I see with a lot of traders as well, is their environment. They're full-time working, but they want to be trading 1 minute or 5 minute, and it's very difficult. You kind of got to adapt sometimes. I know I've always said that only trade, with your personality and stuff, but you've also got to take into account everything else in your life. And if you've got a high pressure job, or if you've got loads of responsibility and you can't be in front of the chart anymore, well, probably the 1 minute time frames, you're just going to have to learn to be a little bit more patient. So we're getting a little bit more movement now, actually. So that's US 30. I wonder what was going to happen once we get into, that kind of area. Because that is quite powerful. It's a powerful move, but I wouldn't be surprised if this just gets bought up.
I would expect. I don't trade equities to begin with, but it's been so strong, and usually what happens is it's going to go up eventually again. It's going to take something much more. It's much more unlikely that what seems to be the top is actually the top. That's my my 2 cents on the equities. I want to really be convinced that it really shifts market structure before I start looking for tops in equities. Everything that it does, every retrace to me is a buying opportunity until the actual market structure changes completely, and that's not the case. We are as bullish as we can get. So I'm not gonna go sell equities. Not this around these levels.
Yeah. DAX looks like it's pushing higher as well. Some people are saying, look at the DAX and stuff. DAX is just beautiful on levels, isn't it? Though, if you just it's beautiful on levels, but DAX has also killed me a couple of times. So I got a little bit PTSD from the DAX. I'm not gonna lie.
So I took
these are just beautiful. Just look at that. Like, you'd go like that straight off the 50 fib again. Like, bro.
So I took a 10-minute break, and when I got back, everything looks very different from when I left, I must say. GBP, I'm gonna have to just switch over to my screen here and show you this. So last time I looked at this, right before going on break, I said it was here, right? And I'm like, this does not look good. I don't want to be trading this, right? And now we have that beautiful breakout candle on the 4 hour, and we're seeing EU following along as well. If you look at the 1 hour here on EU, we do see a potential shift right here. I want to see just one more push up on EU, then I might long this. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm thinking about possible long on GU. And that will, of course, be based on the breakout level. Now, the problem here is I'm not sure if this candle is strong enough. And there's a lot of wicks here. There's a lot of uncertainty, or not uncertainty in direction. I think right now, looking at this, GU is going to move at least 10, 20, 30 pips to the upside. But there's some uncertainty in terms of the way I'm looking at the market. So I have this level here, and I feel like this candle is not really the type of breakout move that I want to be seeing, because if I'm going to be entering this one, then I want to be looking at, I don't know. It's complicated. I'm not really sure where to enter, and because of that, then probably I don't want to be entering at all you know, when I do feel like it's just, you know what, give me a second. I think I forgot something in the kitchen. I'm gonna make sure the house doesn't burn down. Give me a second.
Sure. No problem. Let's see. All right, so I'm gonna switch back to my screen, of course. Let's have that. Let's change that to mine. There we go. So what I see is this, everyone. We have, of course, buyers coming in, right? They are taking control. Currently, we can see that by the outside bar formed by the buyers, of course, a bullish outside bar. The question then is, where do we get in? It didn't reach that area where I would want to get in, and it may not reach that today. So if that is not a possibility, my question then is, do we have another area where we can look for an entry? And I already mentioned it. It's that area I've just indicated here, right? So that's the area now where we have alignment from the H1 and the H4, right? That's enough. That's a prerequisite for me to get in. If that is the case, everything fine, Jonatan, on your end? No smoke coming out nowhere.
Yeah, I like this one. I forgot to take a photo of the oven. I did actually forget about that. I kind of wish I did, because I ran up and I'm like, okay, it's off. Wow, because I got this cast iron pan. Is it cast iron? And like after doing the dishes with it, I usually put it on the stove and put some heat on, and a lot of times, most of the time, I forget about it, which is like the fire alarm goes off and everything, and it's not the best situation when on a live stream.
So yes,
wow.
as I was telling, this opportunity we have from the H1 order block, in the midst of the fire of Jonatan's kitchen, we do have an opportunity here, and that's this H1 order block, which is in alignment with the H4. And if that these are already structures, these are confirmed, these are actual structures. The candles are already closed, so they do have alignment. So I am interested in this order block. The question then is, I go to the lower time frames. Do I have a reason, a structure that I can use that satisfy the way that I trade? And I have an established downtrend, and the question is, does it break the neckline? And yes, lo and behold, it did break the neckline. Right? It doesn't. It's the bare minimum, right, for an established trend, and the bare minimum for breaking the neckline. But it did break it. So it did break it.
Is he talking
so
with
I'm going
himself
to,
again?
in that case, I'm okay. All
Alex,
right.
you're saying something.
The I don't know, but we do have the reversal structure right here. So if that is the case.
I've had these headphones. I was like, why is it so quiet? And then I've been trying to play around with everything. And there's a little thing. Oh god, yeah. What a nightmare.
And you were saying things as well. I'm like, what?
Oh god, it was like, I thought I was muted as well.
No, I'm gonna make a clip out of that. Definitely.
Oh,
well. So I got
my TP hit. Sorry, Victor, I'm gonna have to interrupt you once again.
Go ahead.
TP has got hit right here. There we go.
Right, we're gonna have to do a dunk. We are going to have to do. Where is Mr. Dunk? There you go. And we're gonna have to do a pump it because I haven't done this for so long.
Yeah, I don't think I think I've done that once since you've been gone.
Okay, how do I stop it? I forgot how to stop it. Oh, it's on a loop as well. Gosh.
Yeah, let's just put it in the background.
Okay, there you go. Perfect.
All right, got a win right there. GU is absolutely smashing it right here. Not sure what happened, but I also do not care what happened because it's moving.
Do you know why? Because you bought it. That is why you are the market maker that ICT has been talking about.
I'm
You
Enigma.
move the market. Yeah. Oh, you're the one watching his trades and going the opposite direction. You're hunting
Exactly.
his stop losses.
I'm that market maker. It's like, he's live. Let's take that stop.
That's it. Gosh,
Yep.
EU is just push, man.
Am I I know I'm white, but am I very white? Am I bright? That's what I'm trying to say.
Bright. You're both.
Okay.
I hope that helps.
Yeah,
Glad
it helps.
Okay, let's put some. Does anybody want any specific chart or anything for us to specifically talk about? Any kind of QA? Because I know we're like EU maximalists. We just talk about EU and GU all the time, and occasionally about random stuff.
Well, I would say I talk about quite a lot of different pairs, but it's when you're on. I think you're talking about EU, and so it's naturally.
I only like talking about the pairs that I'm in. Just
yeah. I think we did talk a lot about Bitcoin yesterday. That was a good stream. I like that. The discussion about Bitcoin yesterday. That was a good one. I think.
Should we have a look at US 30?
Well, we do have a lot of chart requests in the comments right here, so I think we can just take take one by one while I set up the giveaway link and everything as well.
Go on. Who wants to do the honors by going through all of these different charts?
Victor wants to take a look at gold, I think.
Go on then.
Really? Let's do that.
Fine.
I'm always ready to take the chart and look at any let's see, where do I have my markings? I don't have it here. It doesn't really matter. Let's check the market. What do I see on the weekly? There is a bearish structure that was formed. Yes, it's on multiple price feeds, so I will mark it as being there, right? That is that order block that we're currently or we already tested it, right? If we see this, right, that's the order block that we're testing. So that looks nice for a move down on gold, but of course we need alignment. That's not enough for us to think. We need a reason on multiple time frames. Those top-down setups of confluence to be used before we can take a setup. So what do we see here? Is there any opportunity on gold? If you look at the daily time frame, what do we see? Actually, I don't find a reason to go short on the daily. So even though we have that weekly order block that was formed, if I don't see a reason on the daily, I'm not going to be taking it. On the daily order block, we are actually, on daily time frame, we're actually seeing bullish structures being formed and not being tested yet. So I would need this to be broken and then come back higher, forming another bearish structure for me to be taking this. There I don't see anything from the daily. Let's look at the 4 hour. We did see, let's see, we do have a structural break here, but is it enough? Let's see. We have one order block is here on the H4, right? And that seems to be the structure that is moving prices. And if we have multiple overlapping, so basically it's one big structure that is from the whole structure. Let me one big entry order block from the whole structure, which is this, because you have multiple H4 order blocks, which I want to be taking off, right? Making things clean. That would be the area that I'm interested in. It doesn't really help that much because it's quite wide. And if that is the case, then we need more indication of what it's going to happen. But this is a great area. Seeing from the neckline would be this area, by the way, for anyone who is asking where the neckline is. So it is a reversal reversal pattern, but on the daily, it's not telling us it's going to revert at all, right? It needs to form those bullish structure, which it hasn't yet. So in the absence of that, I'm not going to be trading it. Another thing is, though, if I that's on the short side for gold. If we're going to check for longs, which makes a lot of sense since the daily is so bullish, if we go to the H4, then I can see this order block being an area that price it's actually currently retesting for its continuation into that supply area. That's something that looks great to me. Other than that, I will want to wait for this structure to be taken out. Let me get this straight, right? You have this bigger structure, this bigger. If I see this correctly, actually, it's not like that. Let me take that out. It is. Let's see. Yes, it's like so, right? Actually, it's a little bit lower, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything. That's the quantity that I would be looking for. So I need this to be broken first, and then I can look for another entry here for that continuation. But that's something it's not, showing. It's not ready yet. It needs to mature yet. The other thing is not the other thing. This is the only structure that I see. If we go to the lower time frames, then yes, if price gets into this order block on the H2, that seems to be a great place for considering buys and having your stops below those structures, because if it's going to hold, it's probably coming in. And actually there is a very nice quasi right here. Can you guys see that? There's that established downtrend, and even without using anything from the left, and it breaks that neckline, comes back before it continues. So that looks like a very nice structure, but if I were to take it, I would wait for it to interact with one of those order blocks there, put my stop somewhere below that, and either target that high or some other swing high from the left, perhaps that neckline, something like that makes a lot of sense to me. That's on gold.
I'll do one. Since you did gold, I'll do one as well to keep me occupied. USD CAD. Shall I pop up USD CAD? Let's have a look.
And we have the secret code in the chat for everyone who is wondering for the giveaway link.
Well, USD CAD is long. It's going up.
All right, next one.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah, probably just wait to see what happens. I guess. Yeah, next one. Anyone? Now, on a serious note, there's what could we do from here? You've got. It is just absolutely tearing upwards. There's not even any levels where you can see. There's not really anything here. You've got these just little levels, but yeah, you can't really do much here. Let's have a look. So you've got maybe that level there, and that's on a day. Let's go on a weekly. Let's see what we have on a weekly. Top of the range. Yep. Okay, so if we're looking at the top of the range, go on to a daily, maybe we've still got a little bit more of a push up there. 15-minute. To be honest, I don't know what I'm even talking about. There's literally nothing really to do here, in my opinion. Just wait and see what happens. This is not something I would trade.
There is a weekly order block there where we're getting into, and since it's been so without any retraces, any correction, one would expect something to retrace a little bit, and it makes sense to retrace from this area where it is right now. But I mean, it's so bullish. Just continue. You don't want to be selling this easily.
Yeah, if you're gonna sell it, maybe you'd sell it. You wouldn't want to sell it here anyway. You've got.
I get a good level on USD CAD. I got a plan. Plan for that one.
Pop USD CAD up. Let's see what
I can show a couple of things as well.
I mean, on a daily we got this. So this is the level that I'm watching, and then in the middle of this area we have sort of like this level. And that's exactly where we're getting rejected right now. So looking at the 4-hour, we have, I mean, of course, this is 3.5 hours left, but we could potentially print a bearish engulfing here. Now, if you want to have an early entry, that bearish engulfing could be a signal for a short, because obviously looking at USD CAD here, we have massive move, like insane move here with a double bottom on a daily and then you straight breakout, but there's just so much room to the downside here. So there's, yeah, it's just so much room to the downside right here. And I'm thinking what I would want to see here on the 4 hour is something like this. If we get this, then this will be a short for me. Now we can look at the same on the 1 hour. The 1 hour trend is very clean, very clear. And when you have a very clean and clear trend, the invalidation is quite clean and clear as well. So if we break this low, that will be a break of or change of structure, a change of behavior of this trend. So I could see something like this forming, and that could be a short. And again, there's so much downside potential here, because if you go to the daily, it's just one massive move, and this move started down here. So we're talking about a over 350 pips move to the upside. And yeah, I mean, the first support would be here on the daily. So maybe here. So we're still looking for, I mean, we could definitely be trading this, down here for a short, which from current prices is still a 40 pips to the downside. So yeah, there's a lot of room for trading here.
Actually,
But
it's
of
quite
course,
interesting from my side as well. So when you finish, I would like to show if
go
there's
ahead.
enough time. By the way, oh, you finished. All right. So let's. And I was looking at the dollar cat as well, and this is what I see on the monthly. Right, we are currently in a retesting a bearish monthly order block. Right, that's something already interesting. If we look to the weekly, we have a quasi, right, a bearish quasi that was formed from. It's a bit. It doesn't matter if you take it here or there. You get to the same conclusion. We have an established uptrend, broken the neckline, and we're getting back to one structure on the same time frame, which is the weekly, where this could potentially turn around. That's one thing. So we have the monthly telling us it might go down. We have the weekly telling us this is we're getting into a great supply area. And let's get to the daily. What do we see on the daily? And there was something else that I wanted to show on the weekly. That's this trend line. I don't, and again, I don't typically trade the trend lines, but when I see them, when they pop out, this obviously, I think we need to pay attention. This is almost picture perfect, right? So this might be something that if anything, right, prices might, even if it reverses, it makes a lot of sense that it squeezes a little bit, but and then falls the other way, because that makes sense in terms of liquidity, right? Taking those stops out and going the other direction, because that trend line will trigger a lot of people to think this is a breakout. That's one thing. If we go to the daily, of course, well, applying my personal rules, we already have a left shoulder there, break of structure, and we haven't gotten to the area yet, but we're very close to getting to that entry order block on the daily. We had only two areas of interest for this structure, this reversal pattern. One was taken out without a glimpse, without anything. Price didn't even move from that order block, but there is another chance, which is this one, right? So we have monthly, weekly, and daily all telling us that this area, but specifically the daily order block, would be a great area to expect some kind of a reversal. So the thing is, we don't have any information yet from a reversal on the lower time frame, which is what I would need to see before even considering taking this trade. So I would want to see something like this. As you guys know me, of course, not necessarily the whole thing. I only need to see something like this, and in this area, wherever that might be, see on the lower time frames, find some reversal patterns, right? The market is fractal, so that's something that I could be looking, but it's not there yet. But the structure is so big that it's worth looking and waiting for this trade, because even if it works, halfway through to the target, we're talking about what's the next structure on not considering the weekly, but that's the next structure on the weekly time frame, where it, obviously where it's going to go if indeed this weekly order block is the one that's going to change price's direction. We're talking about, a huge move here of 300, potentially 300 plus pips, if you can get the entry. So this is a great credits to whoever asks us to look at this, because this is a great setup. It's not
We
there
have a
yet, but
question on. We have a question on indices.
Do you guys get that anywhere else? That was savage. I really like that though, Victor. Really nice play. Very well thought. Nice idea.
I'm always surprised with, I'm doing my analysis, and then Victor comes along and looks at something a lot of times completely different that makes a lot of sense. And how big of a move are we looking at? I mean, to the upside there, this must be like 100 pips or something, right?
Yes. Well, from the 8-4, 350.
No, but I'm thinking from current prices up to where you have your potential entry.
Okay, so that's going to be that's still about 100 pips. But it only needs us to touch this order block, to be fair. So around 70, minimum 70. But looking at the weekly trend line that I just indicated, I would be cautious to be too aggressive on it, because this will work as a magnet for price to get there, because there will be for sure a lot of traders looking for this and be trapped, and that's exactly what the market wants to get. Trap trader to go the other way around. So I would take that into account, that maybe it's gonna squeeze, maybe there's something like a top or blow up top before it changes direction. Just one scenario. It doesn't have to happen, but one scenario there. And if that were to happen, then we're talking about 150 pips, or between 70 and 150. And if we can get a structure break on the H4 in that area, man, I'm all ears for this setup.
And you don't look at you're looking at current prices. You can't find an order block that is closer to current price. Like
no, there isn't. No, there isn't. At least not for me. Not for me. I mean, anything is possible, right? You can have price reacting and putting in the top right here. It's possible, because it is interacting with the weekly, and maybe from here it will start breaking structures. And if it does that, then sure, then it makes sense to take it from here. But it will have to give me the daily confluence come from this structure, right? So it can start a move from here, but it needs to break the daily. Where's the structural break for the daily? That's all the way down here. Actually, that's not even that's, I suppose it is, but not really. That to me can be a structural break. Actually, no, I'm sorry. This is the structural break on the daily, to me, according to my rules. So there's a long way for the daily to show. So there are three possibilities. Three possibilities for this to be a good short. One is it actually gets to the area, right, and forms a quasi, and it moves away in the proper manner, and we get an entry. Or it goes all the way, breaks that neckline, and then comes back and then forms some kind of reversal like this, which is unlikely because these are quite big swings. And the other option is that it doesn't reach this daily order block, but from here it still forms something, right? This could be the left shoulder. It goes up, doesn't touch this, but still puts in a higher high. That would be the head, and then break the structure, and then you'll get your reversal, right? Those are the three possibilities of this working as a bearish structure, and not breaking out and continuing its way. If this happens, yeah, I think this is a great play. And just imagine how many buyers there will be thinking that this is going to continue, looking at all these bullish candles, right? All of them, anytime it goes down, they will be buying this, thinking, this impulsive move will have some follow through, and maybe it will, but it will not be that move. I don't know what's going to happen, but perhaps it's not going to be that move breaking out and giving them what they actually expected, but it could just be a trap for for people to get in while it goes the other way.
Can you explain that order block again? That because you have or where it says possible entry on the daily. Could you explain where that comes from again?
Sure. We have first of all, we have the monthly, right, telling us this is it's a very big candle, a big structure, but it's still this is a fresh order block. It was created here. This is on the second bar after the creation of that order block, and we're already testing it. So this is a great area to getting short on the monthly. The weekly, we have that order block, which is part of a quasi, right? This being the left shoulder, the neckline, the head, breaks the structure, comes back to that order block, right? So we have the daily, the weekly, the monthly, the weekly, and now the daily. So what do we see here, right? If you consider this, this is a bigger structure, but it doesn't matter. I have enough bearish impulsive move to consider this to be, it's either this or that, but you come to the same conclusion to be this as the break of structure. So this would be the left shoulder, the neckline, either this one or that one, it doesn't matter. That's the head. It breaks the structure, goes even deeper, and then comes back. We had a couple of order blocks here for a possible entry, but it didn't move at all. It didn't react to it. But there's still another order block here that I consider an entry order block, right? And that would be the possible move. Either this, or perhaps it forms a reversal pattern without touching it, which is also, possible, since we already are tapping into the weekly order block. But that's the rationale behind that daily entry, possible entry on the daily. This is, of course, if it's going to go down. We don't know that. It can, there's no guarantees. It can just continue and break this. Of course, it's possible. But this is so, the structure is so big. If you're able to get in on a structure like on a trade like this, where 20 pips is plenty to get in on a trade like this. If you're day trading, getting your trades from a 1 hour or maybe the 15-minute, and you use the daily. If this happens, what do we have below us to stop price? Currently, we don't have anything until we get to this weekly. You can already see that how sexy this is. A 1 to 15 that doesn't come along very often. And this is with a 22 pips stop. Which is not that difficult to catch.
Guys, just I want to mention something here for those of you watching. Had to bring that comment up. Want to mention something here. That was Alex bringing that comment up. Okay, so just understand that Alex did decide to bring that comment up. Must be AI. Okay, so it's interesting here because what we're looking at here is almost a 16-hour trade, and this is not only something that Victor just throws on the chart just to show you like this could happen. He actually does take trades like this, and with that tight stop loss, and a lot of times he actually does have winners like this one, which is just amazing. It's just insane. These trade ideas right here. Of course, with a tight stop loss like that one and high risk reward, you do have a lower win rate, but winners like that, of course, all make up for that that lower win rate. But it's quite amazing. Quite amazing.
By the way, this is not a tight stop loss in my book, because this is 22 pips. But 22
Bitcoin is breaking out, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah, it looks insanely strong.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, looks very, very good. We talked about this yesterday, how we put that
yes, we did.
Yeah, put that double bottom, that double U on the daily.
My Pepe swing. My Pepe swing is just unbelievable. Just please put it on the screen. Just do it. Just type it in and just see how
where did you
clean it
enter?
is on the chart. I
Is it
entered
Pepe like this?
9434. Yeah.
That's the market cap.
9434. Yeah.
Where's your entry?
9434.
So Akash is saying here in the comments, those who don't know, Victor is profitable trader with just 25 to 30% win rate. And then we have someone asking, is that really true? And yeah, you can absolutely be profitable with that win rate. It's
Yep.
Win rate doesn't really matter alone. It's all about win rate and your risk to reward. We can look at a trader like what's his name? Peter Brandt, a legendary veteran trader. Been trading for many years. He's a breakout trader.
Unknown
He
market
has
wizard.
Yeah, he's in the market wizards as well. Active on Twitter, and I think for some system he has like 15% win rate as a breakout trader, where it's like he buys the breakout and then has a very tight stop, because his idea is just to get into a breakout that doesn't come back to the breakout area. Obviously that doesn't really happen very often, but basically wants to get in the breakout and then just continue to the upside to the next level above with a very tight stop loss. Obviously that's going to be a very low win rate, because we all know that breakout trading is not really high win rate, because the breakouts very often doesn't continue. But when they do continue, you can easily have like 10R trades. And think about it this way. If you have a 10R winner, you pay for your last 10 losers. So, one out of 10 trades can be profitable and you'll be at break even. So, you can be profitable with very low win rate. So when you see people say that they have a...
Sorry,
which one?
There's the Turtle Traders book.
Yeah.
Where they've got a really extraordinary low win rate, and they're like trend traders as well, or they were trend traders. And it's just about how, when you get your trade, that one trade that is supposed to be, and they're all swing traders or position traders. When you get that one trade, it's like, how long can you hold it and all that stuff, and then you're adding into it and all kinds of different stuff. But I've spoken to so many traders that some have had ridiculously low win rates and some of them have had ridiculously high win rates. Scruffy Trader, for instance, has got like a 90% win rate. Soul has got like a 90% win rate. But when you look at their ways of trading, it's super different to the way, let's say, Jonatan and I trade. Well, Jonatan, you've changed the way you're trading quite a bit with the whole risk to reward, which has worked in your favor like crazy. So that guy, for instance, there was a guy that I did an interview with that tried for ages, trying on the low time frames, trying to do 1 to 3. I can't remember the exact thing that he was doing, but he decided then he could always see that he was getting into 10 pips and then it would always turn back. Anyway, he changed his strategy for going to a negative risk to reward ratio. So he was risking 30 to get 10, for instance, and he had like a 90% win rate, and he was profitable consistently on the 5ers. And that was a gold trade. If you go through the 5ers YouTube, you go through some of the interviews, you will see a gold trader that's got a negative risk to reward ratio, and that changed him from a profitable trader. The same way of analyzing what's going on the chart and the way of getting in the trade, everything the same, but just the difference of where he's getting out the trade is just a little bit different. So test.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's all about testing, and I think it also the win rate plays a role on psychology as well. If I would have to choose between a high win rate, low profit system and a low win rate and high profit system, I would probably have to go with a high win rate, even though I would be making less money, because I know that having a low win rate system, I would be making less money because of the mental errors I would do with the increased drawdowns, the increased losses in a row. So I'm mentally, and that's why that's what I've never realized before trying this, negative risk to reward with a high win rate. I couldn't really understand that, because before I tried a negative risk to reward system, I still had a 60% win rate in back testing. Okay, and that's key. In back testing, I had 60% win rate, but and that's not low, but
exactly
because of the fact that I had more winners in a row and a bit deeper drawdown, that win rate went down to 40%. So what should have been 60 went down to 40. Now you look at the approach that I'm using now in backtesting. It tells me that I should have around 75% win rate, and in real trading I have 70, which is a very small difference. And that's a good difference, which means I'm following my system more carefully with a high win rate system. So for me, that makes all the difference, like on a psychological level. And I like winning. Like it's obviously everyone likes winning, but I'm just a very bad loser. Like not like I would be throwing things around here at home when I'm playing games with the kids. It's not like that. But I'm just, when it comes to trading, I'm very bad at handling. Not very bad. I would say I'm just much better at winning.
Yeah. Sometimes the biggest thing when you're in a trade as well is knowing when you're actually wrong, especially if you've made a mistake like removing a stop loss. Because if you've done that first mistake, and normally you remove a stop loss probably when you're a little bit over leveraged, you've removed your stop loss, and you've just got to understand sometimes you're holding on to the trade because you want to be right. And I know it's so cliche to say this because this is what everybody says, but people that have actually been through this know that they actually know they're wrong, but they're holding on to that trade because part of them just wants to be right. And there's little bits of ego. I think ego in trading is one of the biggest things you just got to get rid of. Once you get rid of that, you're halfway there to being profitable if you're not profitable already. The rest is just repetition then. Repetition, statistics, and that's it. So if I was you, if you've got rid of the one, you've got rid of your ego and you're still struggling, just look at the statistics. Look at how many times does X do Y and just put it down in the Google Sheets and just figure out the percentages. And honestly, that will make you so much more confident and calm when getting into a position. Once you know that this particular pattern for me is worked 70% of the time, or like we've all tested out, the a weekly open gets tested, 3 times on average, or many different things, or the Monday high or low gets taken out on a Tuesday, for instance, which is 50. From when I tested it was like 58% of the time, either the Monday high or the Monday low gets taken out on a Tuesday. That's a massive statistic to know that. So I went on a bit of tangent.
No, but I think you had on a very fundamental thing we typically have. I think we need to take ourselves out of the equation. When you don't, if you need to have the winner, then you're not in the right mindset. You shouldn't need the winner. The setup should be a opportunity that you grasp when there is an opportunity. And when you don't have the need to be a winner, then you can more easily accept that the trade isn't working, the opportunity is gone, whatever you saw isn't working, and you just close it because you don't need to be the winner. You don't have, if you take that ego from, or that the expectation from the equation, then you're more easily able to stop the trade, abort it, instead of holding on to it and, God forbid, moving your stop loss and taking it away, because you're just making it even worse. A stop loss being 1 R minus 1 R, it becomes perhaps 2 or 3, and the deeper it goes, the worse, the more difficult it is for you to accept the loss, because if you weren't able to accept 1 minus 1 R, guess what? You're not going to be able to accept minus 2 either. So I think the thing is to And that's one of the reasons why you shouldn't, anyone, a trader, shouldn't be trading with money they need on a short term, because you don't want to need the wins, the profit. You just want to execute your strategy, and the market will do its thing. The probabilities will turn into profits if you did everything right in your strategy system. But it shouldn't be something that depends on how much you need the money or you want to be the
All
winner.
right. So we have, I've selected one winner with the giveaway. You know the drill. You have to confirm the last part of your email. If you're watching right now, if you're in the comment, confirm with the last part of your email. And if you do that, you have just won a 20K bootcamp account. So I got the timer on, 2 minutes. If you cannot confirm this within 2 minutes, I will draw another winner, and then we'll do that till we get someone on here that's actually watching the live stream. But we had good success with this lately. It's most of the people that are in the giveaway is obviously watching the live stream. So that's I like this process that we got set up right here. It works quite well.
What are
Let's
we
see
doing?
if it
How are we
worked.
doing it? Are we still using Gleam, or have we got rid of Gleam?
No, we're doing Gleam, but what we're doing is I'm selecting a winner from Gleam, and then I'm putting it on the screen here, and then they have to confirm with their email. Well, I don't know if you are you, but if you are you, then you have to confirm with your email, the last part of your email. Just confirm that this is you. Got 30 seconds.
The last part of the email, I'm doing it then, at gmail.com.
Before
if you write at gmail.com, you're not getting anything.
Sorry, guys. Whoever's just about to do that. While we got some people here, there is a Google Forms in the community news section in the Discord. If you want to get 25 hub credits, so you can use that for an account here at the 5ers, go into the Discord, go onto community news, fill out the survey. It's not really a survey, it's just a lot of different questions, because we are always trying to find out new ways of educating our traders, getting our traders to a certain standard, and it's really important for us to get all of that information. So again, if you want 25 hub credits, go there, fill it out. It's not very long. It will really, really help us, and it will also really help us be able to give you value and more things in the future as well. I would post it here, but then I don't want the public. I want, just our traders to have the opportunity to get all of that.
Yeah, and if you're not in the Discord server, make sure you do go onto the hub and join the Discord server. And while you're in there, say hi to Abe as well, our fantastic community manager in there, who's taking good care of the Discord community. He also had a pretty cool trade on EU today as well. If he can take more trades like that one, we should probably bring him on to the live trading room in the future. All right, we got the
congratulations to
Abe.
Zhao. Congratulations to Zhao. Yep.
That's it. Congrats. You have a 20K bootcamp account. And for everyone else that has not gotten an email from me with the in regards to the giveaway, I'm sending out all the emails today. And with everyone winning today, you have to expect up to a week before you get your email with your account details. So if you don't have access tomorrow, please do not reach out to live support. They have no idea about what we're doing here with the live trading room and the giveaway. So the live support on the website has nothing to do with the live trading room here on YouTube. So if you do have any questions about what we're doing here with the giveaways or anything with the live trading room, you can send an email to tradingroom@the5ers.com. Because if you send an email or send a message to live support, they're just going to ask me, and then they'll give you, email. So yeah, tradingroom@the5ers.com is where you're going to reach out if you have any questions on the giveaway. All right, that's it, guys. That's it. Awesome to have Alex back. I've missed you.
Yes, indeed.
Nice to have you back. It's always nice to have 3 people in the live stream. It's a good number. 3 is a good number.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. Everyone who enjoyed today's live stream, please hit the like button. Let us know how much you
Yeah.
appreciate and what the content was, so we can continue to do the same.
That's it. All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
And we'll see you all in...
yeah, pump up EU.
Yeah. That too.
Yeah, see you later.
All right. Take care, guys. See you tomorrow.
See you. Bye-bye.
Hi guys, so thank you very much for watching the video. Now make sure you like and subscribe, and most of all go into the YouTube and check our other content that we provide here at The 5ers. We'll see you in the next one.